Act 4, Scene 3. Let's go. We're on the boat. Just left Drunky Town.
Ugh, like me last night. I was Drunky Town. Not drunk. I was just had a drink. A big one. What the heck is that? It's crazy fucking cave shit. Right, and then there's this. Easy to miss, but another card. Yeah, we learned about this already. Yeah. Life, that's not a person. So wait, did we do this? Yeah. Sunflowers. Fed the sunflowers, lamps are gone now. It's away. It's yeah. Yeah, we talked about the sisters. How's this were an attempt at it. It didn't work. Yeah, took up gardening. Blah 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 blah. We did this last night. Yeah. All right. I think that's where we left off last night. I really don't remember. This game is so shitty. I can't remember anything that happens in it. Ugh. Oh yeah. I think this is where we stopped. At whatever that is. What is that? Valkyrie and the Blue lounged below deck. Valkyrie and Blue. Claire, Kate, and I stopped to do some business by telephone. I think we're going to chill below deck. I think I don't care. I really... Alright, Act 4, Scene 4. How many scenes are in this game? Hold on. Let me find the Lucky Map. Let me find the walkthrough again. I just want to see how much more shit I gotta do. Ugh, a lot. Oh, was that it? What happened? Nothing happened, huh? While those two gentle beasts kept things under control aboard the Mucky Mammoth, I went ashore with the rest of the crew to make use of a public telephone. I called into my answering machine, which I routinely neglect for intervals of months to chip away at the pile. Kate checked in on a client of hers. She's a birth doula, in addition to being a tugboat captain. Did you know that? Oh, hey, a doula. I know what that is. That's actually interesting. Clara talked to her sister in Lithuania. Illness in the family, I gather. Who's Clara again? Who is Clara? Oh, that was the chick in the boat. Okay, now I remember. She's talking to Johnny and Junebug. Evening at a low point, not much later on, so let's take a quiet moment here, listen to the river, and reflect on the unburdened sleep of dogs. Cool. I did that. Dude, I'm looking at this walkthrough and I have no idea what the fuck I'm looking at. Whatever, screw it. Ezra taught us a card game. Shannon, Ezra, the old man, and I stopped at the Redvansky Center to make some... Okay. Nope, I want to learn a card game. Let's play games with the boy. I want to play card games. Alright, 4 Scene 5. Let's go. I'm gonna beat a kid at a card game. Maybe. Probably not. Clara draws a card. 3 deep breaths, 8 white doves, 5 slow hours. What the fuck? Kate draws a card. 7 blue petals, 3 deep breaths, 8 white doves, 5 slow hours. Clara to Kate. What are we listening to? Oh, just this tape a friend of mine sent me. They live in the desert. V-Sinks? Something like that. Let's go to the Mammoth's PA. Yeah, that's the only way I listen to anything lately. Haha. Your turn, buddy. Wizard draws a card. 9 gray feathers, 7 blue petals, 3 deep breaths, 8 white doves. 9 gray feathers, 7 blue petals, 3 white doves. Okay, wait, what was it? It was 7 blue petals, 3 deep breaths, 8 white doves, 5 slow hours. So this one. Will draws a card? Who's Will? Is Will the cat? 3 no, 9 gray feathers. Stay focused, haha. No, I've got it. Oh, Will's the pot guy. 7 blue petals and 5. Oh no, it was 9, 7, 3. It's more difficult than it sounds, my friend. It's that hard. You still did pretty good. We're only how many cards in now? 5 or something? Assume it will go to 52. Yeah, it goes until everyone forgets. Yeah, it's the whole deck. So in some cases there may be a stalemate, though not with this crowd, I don't think. People stupid. Especially the pothead. We're all too sake brained. I was right, they're potheads. I know I am. I even take homemade supplements for it. Shade grown lichen, boiled with the peel of a lemon, then frozen and crushed with oak leaves. It's a scalp massage oil. You can smell it if I get close. What the fuck? Okay. It dries the brain out a bit, which is helpful for a good memory if I can remember to use it often enough in the first place. It sounds like it's not working too well. Can I say that? Oh, don't worry. The soggy brain has its benefits too. If your brain is soft and damp, new ideas can make a clear impression, like a boot in wet sand. But like wet sand, it can easily get muddied and washed away, so there's a trade-off. That sounds awful. Why would you want that? Why would you want a soft and damp brain? It's a shame we can't have it both ways, isn't it? No, it's really not. I really prefer not having a soft, wet brain. What the What's this game called, Ezra? 52 Pickup. It's called Remembering Game. Nice one, Ezra. I like it. Good game. Kate likes to give her passengers the opportunity to make some floating around money, and that lab pays cash in small envelopes upon completion of a little gauntlet of non-invasive tests. It's a project at the university I think they're studying. I don't remember. The Mammoth also collects their trash, mostly shredded paper, though Kate says once they left half a vending machine on the dock. What happened? Well, they seemed too interested in the lab stop that night. They stayed aboard and played a card game. I read a book. I'll tell you about it. I don't fucking want to know about a book. Whatever. Castle. Starts Limmer being maintained by a bunch of college kids and aging social misfits. The main characters work at a gift shop. Okay. Their co-workers, Mimi and Jen. Mimi's older than Jen, but they seem to be at the same point in their lives. They like their work. They have a playful, antagonistic relationship with their boss. I actually only read a bit from the middle. Had cause to reflect on the history of the particular traumatic event. What the event was exactly, I guess I would know if I'd started at the beginning, like the writer probably meant me to. Who the fuck starts a book halfway through? But I've never found that way of reading suited me very well. Death of a loved one, I think, something like that. Sork as the Echo River's premier anecdotalist, I've always found that a carefully excerpted moment is more powerful than any epic history. That's my excuse anyway for reading books from the inside out. So I stopped there. My eyelids were getting heavy. We were headed back to the lake and a chance to encounter with the Iron Pariah. Ooh, the demon boat. I like the demon boat. Can we go on the demon boat? I would like to visit the demon boat, please. This cave system's pretty badass, though, I gotta say. I want to see the Iron Pariah. I would like to board the Iron Pariah. Ooh, we're booking it now. Look at this go. Super fast. Whoosh. Is that it? Is that the boat? No, that's a batch of trees, I think. Right, those are trees. Whatever. Are we backing up? What is happening? took a nap. Ezra helped Kate forage for mushrooms. I'm gonna take a nap. Act 4, Scene 6. Oh my gosh, it is. The Mucky Mammoth. It's me, sleeping. Hey, just a quick one here. I'm going to sure to do some mushroom hunting. This little island is my favorite spot, and I figured we are already running late. What's one more unscheduled stop? I just need to find Will and get him up here to keep an eye on things. You know, I bet he's asleep. Or John will get him up for me. Bunks are down the lower level right next to the map room. Thanks. Look at my little dude. Look at that man. Oh, dude. My little guy. He's got a suit on. What a stud. What a cool kid. What is this? Oh, the tape recorder. It's alive. It's like Ezra. Fucking turn that off. Look at that thing. It's creepy as hell. Let's go inside. To the main deck. Let's go down to the main deck. Ba 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 to the lower deck. Do ba 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 to the lower deck. She is a robot. Ba 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 ba. Keep going down. Ba 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 ba. Going down. Go to see Will. He is taking a nap. Let's record him snoring asleep. Her lecture plays from a tape machine next to Will's bunk. It hinted that he had in mind a design for this device, as recorded in the diary and sundry observations. Reading. Why should personalities in another existence or sphere waste their time working a little triangular piece of wood over a board with certain lettering on it? So what? The whole business seems so childish to me. If we are to make any real progress in psychic investigation, we must do it with scientific apparatus. Oh, they're talking about Ouija boards. Again, for Edison, a technical solution to every problem. He goes on to suggest the parameters of the apparatus and, yes, question in the back, James? Indistinguishable. Yes, this idea of personalities lingering after death does appear to be in conflict with Edison's theories about what he called life units, the subatomic entities that animate matter and then scatter to other configurations when a person passes on. But, given Edison's emphasis on memory and cognition, remember, we're talking about the inventor of the phonograph, and his colorful description of the swarm of interchangeable, drone-like, as it uses the word proletarian, life units animating the human mind. His theory naturally posits that any individual life unit possesses on its own some fragment of memory. So, according to Edison, when life units recombine from, say, a soldier into, say, a flower, we may be able, using some apparatus, to coax out from the flower memories of war. The tape stops. Will wakes up. Well, hello, small man. You caught me on my pre-dawn nap. I try to sleep in little nibbles when I can, maximizing my time in the threshold states. What are you listening to? Well, I used to work at a university, and I'd always eavesdrop on lectures through the ventilation system. Anything and everything. I'm a polymath by nature. An old friend recently found this box of tape-recorded lectures next to the dumpster there, and passed them on in the spirit of fondly recalling better days. This one is... We'll accept the label on the tape. Reading. History of the Philosophy of Death. Yikes. Well, you don't even know what you're listening to. Play these old taped lectures during my little nibble naps to absorb the information more easily. It's pretty effective. I wish I could do everything half asleep. Can't say I learned very much just now, though. I may have been too busy dreaming a vivid, narcotic fantasia aboard the... But those are always the quickest to dissipate. I better tell you about it now before the spell is broken. I don't want to hear about it. Oh my gosh, what the fuck? Was small than a child, an animal maybe. Patrolled the quarters of a great iron ship, searching for scraps and mice, I think. And crying always, a weak and mournful mew. Other crewmen slumped in odd corners or lay drunk on the deck. The hall smelled of shame, defeat, and rot gut corn whiskey. I see the little bug guys down here. Rot corn whiskey. They dumped artillery into the water, tore their flags into cloth scraps, and made handkerchiefs to bury their sobbing faces. They drifted on Lake Leth, drinking the cold black water and eating eyeless fish raw when they last ran out of cooking fuel. They seemed in their despair to forget even language. After an interval of years, the ship crossed the threshold into absolute silence. Silence except for my hopeless, whimpering cry. Anyway, that's all I remember. So I had a bad dream lately. I never remember my dreams. It's probably for the best. The images of dreams are often wasted on the waking. Well, I've got a stew to start. You may want to hurry back above deck. I believe we're about to pass the Bat Sanctuary. It's quite a thing to see. I will go look at the Bat Sanctuary for sure. 1,000%. He came back from our mushroom hunting excursion with a small basket full of oddly colored caps and stems, no doubt delicious to a morsel. Of course, she intended to use many of them in her medical practice to ease the pain, nausea, and anxiety of pregnant women, but I can usually rely on my charms to snare a bite or two. I have no preferences when it comes to mushrooms, by which I mean that I treat them all interchangeably. I prefer not to know their names or qualities before I cook them up and eat them. It's useless, after all. They escape your erudition, as the fellow says. Dude, that is a sick way to kill yourself. Like, you have no idea what those mushrooms are. Come on now. It's a good mushroom hunting island, I guess. It's plenty damp. They've got the cypress trees there to grow on. Of course, they're not indigenous, the cypress trees, I mean. Everyone down here seems to agree that they were planted as some kind of a marker or memorial. Most people will tell you they've got a distant relation or acquaintance who helped dig a hole or water a seed there. But nobody remembers what it was all for, and nobody left a plaque or anything. It's a shame. Looks like it must have been a lot of work. Well, at least we have the trees. And the mushrooms. Shannon helped me fix up a mushroom stew in the kitchen. Shannon and her friend set out in the dinghy to deliver a package at the telephone exchange. Let's make a mushroom stew in the kitchen. Maybe we can cook it by the book. Act for scene 7. Video bit rate. Whatever. I keep getting notices from YouTube saying that my bitrate is higher than the recommended, but I'm just going to say screw it. I feel these really big caps with the slimy gills. I shouldn't say slimy, moist. The lady in the video called it for a portobello, but I prefer never to know a mushroom by name. Stuffing at restaurants from later. So this is a breakfast stew? Stuffing at a restaurant. Sure. Salmon idas. This stew is for tomorrow. It has to simmer all day. Some things are just better done slowly. We've added the anonymous mushrooms, so next we I've got the recipe video on pause next door. I used to follow a recipe I learned from Ida herself. The best cook you're gonna meet on this river, of course. Had a few secret ingredients. She has the good sense to preserve some mystery around her cooking. Better for business. Ida's so shrewd, she swore me not only to secrecy, but to ignorance. I had to promise to forget the recipe just as soon as I'd cooked it. Let me tell you, it's not so easy to forget something on purpose as you may think, my friend. It's probably easier than when you have a soft, damp brain like you do. So, I'm not going to worry too much about it. What up, girl? How you doing? Crushed tomatoes, salsa, or even a little ketchup. Here's the thing, nobody has to know. Nobody has to know. Just throw some body parts in there. More of that spice blend we threw together earlier. Stir that up and crack a beer, baby. You'll be here for a while. Why don't you just this thing to do? We'll try to make this stew right now. It's the last step he did. Talk about the type of mushroom he used. Don't tell me. Will says it's better not to know their names. Maybe I can help him figure it out. I got kind of sucked into this program. Do it. gotta zoom in like this? Can we zoom out? Thank you. Talk to Will. Talk to Bobo Baggins. And even that wasn't enough to convince her. So I trained rigorously in the art of forgetting, studying for months under a master amnesiac. Finally, I learned to forget so quickly and accurately I was able to convince Ida to share with me the most obscure secrets of her kitchen. As a demonstration of my trustworthiness, I forgot the names of my own parents right there in front of her. Wow. Every time I wanted to cook this legendary stew, I'd call Ida up on the telephone and ask her for a quick temporary reminder. Here in the boat, we haven't got a phone line, so I have to seek out culinary wisdom on videotapes of cooking shows. Next, we add some fresh tomatoes. Make the spice blend. Are we stopping at the restaurant? So we get some fresh tomatoes. Oh, it's you. I thought. Never mind. Hello. I don't have any fresh tomatoes. I have some ketchup. Did you win anything? I have misplaced the damn ticket. I'm sure it'll turn up. Hey there, could I ask you... Wait, why are you cooking? We're stopping at Sam and Ida's in 20 minutes. It's for tomorrow. Oh, well, just don't forget about it this time. I'm not scrubbing up any more boiled over sludge. Sorry, listen, I have a favor to ask. There's a package for the telephone exchange, and I can't get the mammoth back there. Could you deliver it for us? Thanks a lot. With the dinghy all ready to go, maybe take your friend with you. One of you can man the outboard motor, and the other can aim the flashlight. It's dark. I guess we're going there anyway. Act 4, Scene 8. Echo River Central Exchange. Thanks again for your help. This is about as far as the tugboat can go. You know, noise and lights disturb the bats. So pass through the bat sanctuary, which is really nice, by the way. Be sure to check out all the plaques and stuff for cool bat facts. Love bat facts. Plenty of time. Anyway, the Echo River Central Exchange, or excuse me, Consolidated Auxiliary Switch number 30. They changed the name of the power company, took over. Anyway, it's just on the other side of the Bat Sanctuary. This package is going to Poppy. She's an operator. The operator. Meet you on the other side at Sam and Ida's for our scheduled early breakfast stop. Just follow the river. Can't miss it. Oh, I almost forgot. You may or may not be interested. There's this kind of weird memorial sculpture on your way in, just before the Bat Sanctuary. I always recommend people at least stop and take a look at it. It's really sort of, I don't know how to say it. You should check it out. Okay, bye! Goodbye, Felicia! Dark. Light, dark, light, dark, light. And the duckies. This is the thing. Claim these helmets in the names of the folks who wore them, and we place them here in their memory, but also as a spit in the greedy green eye of that power company who bought up our old mine and traded our brothers and sisters' safety for a little more yield, but only yielded 28 good men and women dead when the walls collapsed and the tunnels filled with water. Their lungs were black, but now they're washed clean and full of water, too, and swept through hidden tunnels into some awful cave we will never find. And so we guess the water buried them for us, so let this here be the marker for their grave. And if any son of a bitch or that power company wants to take back these helmets, this company property, just you try it and see what will happen. Elkhorn. That's the mine we were in, where your folks worked. Looks like it's been here a while. I sure as hell wouldn't mess with it. I think whoever wrote it is still that angry? I don't think you ever forget anger like that. No, I guess you probably don't. This probably stirs up, I mean, how do you... Some people remember this happened, brings back some anger for me too. Just made this, but it should have been the power company. Well, here we are remembering. I didn't even know it was the first time around, but here I am remembering it now. That's a fine memorial, I guess. Oh, hey, there's a couple of dude guys. They're gonna hit our boat. Hey, howdy. Howdy doodle. You guys, what? You're looking at me like I'm crazy. Just sometimes I forget. I don't even really know. You feeling okay? Oh, sure. It doesn't hurt you more in my leg. It's just kind of numb. Like it's not there. My shoulder, too, actually. That's an odd one, though, from an accident. I'm lucky I just had some nerve damage there. Probably should have been a lot worse. You know, those guys from the distillery are just making the best of a bad situation, just like the rest of us. Hey, one of them said to me earlier they could even help me take care of these medical bills for my leg, you know? Get it all together on a plan, consolidated. When did you talk to them about that? Oh, they're around. They're pretty much everywhere you look on this river. You haven't really noticed? Anyway, I have a feeling it'll all work out. Even for me? Hey, why not? Seems like we're getting pretty close to finding your cousin, right? Besides that, you're young and smart. Plenty of time to bounce back from whatever. Listen, that old truck I've been driving belonged to my boss, Ira, Lisette's husband. To be honest, Ira didn't like me very much, but somehow Les got into her mind that he would have wanted me to have that truck someday. Maybe to make up for all the yelling he did, or maybe so his ghost could hold it over me. Some more thing to feel like I owed him for. Anyway, they got their own trucks at the distillery, and now that the antique shop is closing up, I've got no use for that old truck. I was thinking you could take it. But I don't need a truck. Drive it around while you figure out what's next. Hell, you could sleep in it if you need to. It's big enough. Well, just think about it anyway. You do me a favor, you know? One less thing to deal with. What the fuck? Guys, you're freaking me out. What are you doing over there? What's the sign say? Visitors to the Echo River split-nosed brown bat artificial hybrid inoculum and sanctuary are asked to take extra precautions in order to prevent the introduction of foreign fungal contaminants and the spread of white nose syndrome. Please do not visit the sanctuary during the same day in which you visited any cave or suspected to host bats infected with white nose syndrome. Please do not leave your vehicle. You must leave your vehicle. Please remove shoes, clothes, jewelry, headwear, and eyeglasses to ensure you do not bring any foreign spore ashore with you. Please do not touch any bats or structures. The split-nosed brown bat is confused by light. If you're using a lantern or other artificial light source, be aware that it may attract and confuse bats. If you're approached by bats, do not panic. Relax. Stop your vehicle, switch off your light, never touch a bat. Okay. So we'll just chill, I guess, until we find a bat. There's a bat. I see the bats. Bat fact. Ever talk with your mouth full? Bats do it all the time. Bats talk at extremely high frequency clicks. Too high for humans to hear. Then they use their powerful ears to scan for the echoes of these ultrasonic clicks. By comparing very subtle differences in time these echoes take to come back, differences of just millionths of a second, bats are able to picture their environment with enough accuracy to catch a flying insect. Once a bat has caught an insect in its mouth, it's still flying and so it needs to avoid running into anything, so bats keep clicking away, even while they munch on a tasty bug snack. It may be poor table manners, but it's crucial for surviving in the dark. Wonder how the other bats know whether one of them is really talking or just chasing a bug. I think what they're actually doing is singing. Sometimes singing. I'd like to hear that. Bat fact. Okay. Damn, it's really dark down here. Are you still there? Just thinking, yeah, it's a reflective kind of place. If you're that kind of person, which I think you are. What do you think about bats? Yeah, hard not to, huh? I was thinking about Lisette. I actually think she'd like it down here. She's always liked old things and empty places. I mean, places that are full of weird stuff, but they still feel empty. The wax museum. Bat fact time. Bat fact. Split-nosed brown bat's natural diet mostly consists of moths and other small insects that breed along the river. Here at the artificial hibernaculum and sanctuary, we use a combination of chemical snares and ultrasonic wards to repel all potentially contaminant-bearing insects and replace them with our own locally bred and spawned hypoallergenic antiseptic pseudomoths, which we call the little gray nothing moth. You may be thinking that the other moths and insects the split-nosed brown bat would have been eating are very much relieved that their natural predator has found another food source. Not so. We've installed netting and highly effective moth traps along the river where the split-nosed brown bat normally hunts to balance their escape from the food chain. But eating moths isn't the only systemic contribution these bats make. They also produce a potent fertilizer in the form of guano that helps plant life thrive along the river and shore of Lake Leth. To minimize the sanctuary's impact on subterranean agriculture, we collect that precious guano here at the hibernaculum, manually distribute it throughout the caves. It's a full-time job. It's like a lot of work. They eat fake moths. I wonder how the bats would feel about their guano being taken like that. It's all fake except for the bats. I guess so. Reminds me of that guy Donald in the screen down there with the computer. It is reassuring to know that someone's taking care of everything for these little bats. It kind of bothers me like they're tricking the bats. And he's going to build the people hibernaculum. Maybe we'll build it ourselves. Maybe we already did. Like the folks in the mine. You say they used to buy stuff. Fans can erase all those little trinkets to make it bearable. There's still a lot of stuff down there. It feels cluttered but human. Clustered. This means all people need is enough to pretend we're home, and we can make it anywhere. That kind of philosophical. Did no one tell you that? Yeah, I guess I do. No, this is nothing. I used to have this drinking buddy who would get loaded and tell the weirdest damn riddles, like, which is more musical, a truck passing by a factory, or a truck passing by a music school? Ha, count your blessings. What the heck is that tree? Some weird-ass pattern on a tree. That sound intensified. I don't want to do bad facts. That's sick. I mean, she's old. We're both old. Hell, you're about the youngest person I know right now. Oh, and the kid, maybe blue, but by a people calendar. In dog years, though, I bet she has us all beat. So I'm old too, sure. I forget stuff all the time, especially if I had a few, and my brain is swimming. But I mean, Liz, it's all going away. She's losing words you'd never think you'd lose. Just like the street she grew up on, but the names of colors and types of furniture, or I mean, even
the word furniture. She'd say, we've still got a few nice pieces in the, what's that I call the shed, where we put the bigger pieces, the beds and couches in. And I'd say, oh, Liz, why do you keep teasing me about that time I fell asleep in the furniture shed when it's so damn comfortable in there? Tried to help her keep some dignity, you know? That's all I had to offer at the end. She has a sister in Nashville who will take good care of her. Now that I'm not around the shop all the time, what was that old guy's name? He used to make deliveries for the shop. He smells like leather. Ira was always yelling at him.
Too drunk to work on the one day he could have been in the right place at the right time. There's a lot to get worried about losing her. Accident. Oh my gosh, we have so much longer to go in this one. You know, it's inevitable at this age people are going all the time. I don't wish she'd live forever, just that she keeps some dignity as she goes. I think that's the best we can wish for anyone we care about. Okay, I think the bats are clearing out. Bat facts. Bat fact. There's the bat fact. I really don't want to do it. Oh, looks like I don't have to. Cool, thanks. Bat facts. Bat swarms intensify. Some power lines for some reason. What the hell? Central Exchange, I guess we're here. I guess we're here. Careful up there. You can't drive your new truck if you slip and break your legs. Be careful, you too. Trying to make bad big deals when I'm gone. Haha, I'll just be floating along down here. I just mean keep your eyes open and don't look back. Oh, hi, I remember you. What are you doing down here? Do you know where the telephone exchange operator is? I don't know what that means. I'm just exploring. I like dark underground places. I'm a romantic. Does that mean to you something? I think I'm more classic myself. Sounds like the same thing to me. Okay, bye. Dashiel. My pass was another capacitor at 100 nanofarads to reduce noise. You're working on it to trigger too noisy. You should tie those floating pins to the ground. Huh? That's a pretty good idea. They're probably picking up all kinds of radio interference. Dashiel Morse, pleased to meet you. We don't install this type of phone for customers anymore, but there are quite a few of them still in circulation. Anyway, the new system doesn't source enough current to ring those old bells. I'm trying to come up with a workaround. Maybe a little box that goes break attached right before the... a good gang, fixing old phones. Oh, well, yeah, I'm just here about every night. Is this your first time down here? Yeah, I can tell your eyes can't quite adjust to the light. Take some practice. Believe it or not, I've been coming here since I was a kid for one reason or the next. Back then, this place was a train station. It's true. They had bats then, too.
they were considered a nuisance. I usually came here with my grandmother. We would take the train out to the town she lived in, or in the other direction back to my parents' home. In my memories, it was always cold. Winter, I guess. Sometimes now I walk along the tunnel, run my hand along these wet stone walls, and close my eyes. Ringing footsteps and the drip, drip, drip of the grimy stalactites. Well, the river shifted, and this place slowly filled with water, carrying the trains away with the current. It does that, the river, and I don't begrudge it. It's a good reminder that everything we have is borrowed, even trains. Eventually, someone at the Bureau of Reclaimed Spaces heard this place was still empty, so they moved the phone company in here. Returned here as a young lineman, a skill I picked up in wartime, running telephone wires behind enemy lines. We used trees instead of poles. I missed that, actually. They were easier to climb. It's just as well. But no ship to be climbing anything these days. Closest I get to patching up the wiring in the crystal room for the closest I get is patching up the wiring in the crystal room for the WEVP folks. It's community television. Volunteered there for a number of years. Nobody over there. Ralph, Sherry, Weaver, Dave, Weaver, Marquez. Sure, Weaver Marquez. That's funny. I was just thinking about her. Yeah, I met her a couple times at the station. Suppose I didn't know her too well. She handled the archives. And I was helping with wiring and stuff. She really seemed to know her way around all that gear, though. She had a head for signals, I think. No idea where she ended up. I guess she's probably not too popular on the station anymore, but I always liked her. Listen, miss, if you're interested in that, you should go talk to them directly. They're always looking for volunteers to ferry over to the silo. There's a mail stop there. They don't have to sign or anything. Just ask around. Guess I'll go back to this old ringer. Poppy's just a little further down. If you're dropping off that package, nice chatting with you. Don't care about the plaque. Let's go talk to Poppy. Over there by the lamp, Sweetie, thanks. Actually, just a minute. What is that parcel claim to be from? Consolidated Power Co. Oh dear, I'm afraid to open it. So who are you? You work for the post office or tugboat? I only asked because I haven't seen you before. Was that you I heard chatting down the hall? I just heard Kate of her. Kate! I love Kate. She helped deliver both of my nieces. One in the hospital and one at the base of a mossy moonlit oak. It was beautiful. I love Kate. I think Loretta's granddaughter used her too. Oh, Loretta used to work here. Actually, I think quite a few of our former operators have relied at some time on Kate's services. Well, now I guess they'll have more time with their little ones. As you can see, all their chairs are empty. Wasn't always like this. Came to work at the Echo River. Came to work at the Echo River Central Exchange. There were 12 of us: Loretta, Edna, Meg, Kara, Marie, Lois, Liz, Hester, Angie, Wilma, Connie. I was number 12. Connie and I were hired on the same day, but she showed up early. Marie finishes college, and Hester was fired for snapping at a rude collar, but he had it coming, and I hear she did just fine on her own. So they hired Beryl, Jana, and Sachiko, which brought us up to 13, and that was as many operators as we ever had here at one time. The power company came along, buying up all the lines. One day they took the exchange as the throw-in, like it was nothing, and they started phasing us out. Edna, Meg, Kara, and Lois left one Friday evening and were asked not to come back on Monday morning. Beryl saw the writing on the wall and quickly found employment at a private PBX. They had Janet and Liz stop routing calls and write up some kind of best practices document instead. Final task as exchange employees. Some of the girls were reassigned to other divisions. Connie, I think, was checking residential meters. Sunchiko and Wilma were moved into energy sales, cold calling businesses to see if they needed to upgrade their electricity plan. At least I think they were still on the phone. And it was just Loretta, Angie, and me. We were swamped. The hours were hell and hard on the throat. The voice with the smile became a croak. Gargling warm salt water in the break room, sipping from a thermos full of hot honey broth stashed under my chair. Oh, I brought a lot of extended technique to the switchboard in those days.
I just don't fucking care. Sounded pretty good to me. Passing the voltage, you'll have burn out the relay. Where was I? It's just running Angie and you. For so long, the voice work recording canned phrases for IVR systems and robocall polling. I could never do that. For who knows, it was just me. Automation strategy was announced. Its place would be christened to consolidate, so they switched to 30. It's not fully automated. There's still gaps in functionality that need human touch, and it really is about touch here. Sound is a vibration. The touch you can feel in your ear. So my voice is my touch. When we're talking, we're touching. Even on the oh, gross. Even on the phone, that's an electric touch, an intimate little shock that makes your tiny hairs tremble. Ooh. But that's not even what I mean when I say that it's all about touch here. The power company first tried automating this old exchange with fancy new transistor arrays. The switchboard caught fire. It's just too much too fast, so they tried using some clunky old mechanical relays, but then the calls were getting mismatched and out of sync. It was a nightmare. My fuck, I don't care about this at all. Like, what is happening? We're here to deliver a package. Can you stop telling me about telephone shit that and just fucking take the package? Like, what are you doing? The phone system down here had been designed ad hoc over decades around the specific tempo of its human operators, so short replicating the whole thing. Not to mention all the wiring, they'd have to work out the exact timing of every little human gesture that goes into running a phone call. And that officially is my role here. I run the switchboard for the whole exchange. It's the work of 12. I'd like to remind you, once the work of 12, I'd like to remind you, they have some kind of machine somewhere that tracks how long it takes me to do each little thing. The caller never hears my voice. Now. They dial, my little indicator lights switch on. I make the connection. There's something that bothers me about the process, besides the fact that I'm training a replacement who's even human. Here's what I mean. How long do you think it should take to time my every move and recreate that timing in an automated switchboard? Rough estimate. Like a month or more? That's what I said. But this has been going on for over a year. A very dark thought has started to nag at me. What if there's no cheap machine that's going to replace me? What if it's cheaper just to make me to keep me here? Ugh, just to keep me here. Looking for the rhythm of the operators. Well, if I'm the cheap machine, why don't you quit? In this economy? No, you're probably right. Working in silence for peanut shells, waiting to be replaced by a robot doesn't sound very dignified, does it? The reality is that I've been working here for my whole adult life. I came here as a girl, and I'll leave as a middle-aged woman. I don't know if I'm ready to be her yet. Oh, the parcel right over there by the lamp is fine. Thanks for dropping that off. Take care. Think of me when you dial 0. Excuse me. Conway? 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 Turned on the dinghy alone. She had a strong and sudden urge to shut the motor off and let the current take her. She couldn't work out where that impulse came from, so she did her best to resist. Yep. She had a family of 5 on a float moms. Yeah. Flower salesman, painter, Said they took turns. The water was cold and the floating bicycle. Well, marvelous. Buoyant enough for both of them. Some of this hard work, hardest work the dogs had ever done. Expected. Oh my fucking gosh. Traveling this way for most of the night, struggling through the ice floor. Some of you covered where they could find a rock large enough to start a small campfire. He had his belongings stuffed into a weathered guitar case at the end of a thin rope. It floated pretty well, so he only had to keep an eye on it and occasionally free it from a rock or some driftwood with cover. So he turned the case from his thumbs and went into the wide ways on the D. He would have played or something, but the case had leaked a bit and he didn't think it would sound right until it had time to dry out. He never worked from photographs, so his paintings could be divided into two categories. There were the ones he painted from life and the Echo River. Very good source for these. His currents were so unpredictable and the tunnel so dark. He rendered these in oil paint by lamplight, working for hours cross-legged on the porch of his houseboat/studio. And there were the ones he painted from memory, mostly the memory of a single wreck he encountered as much younger man, picking up litter or the coastal highway cleaves to the rocky beaches of Northern California. He got a watercolor, preferred to work on them in the morning. The room he rented near the airport in Louisville. Holy fuck. Some postcard-sized sketches in charcoal too of the Iron Pariah. It wasn't a wreck exactly, but it felt right. He tried to scribble one down every time he encountered it. That was so unpredictable, and he was so focused on details, he usually just ended up with a handful of inscrutable marks. The boat was loaded to capacity with black plastic bags and a few larger pieces of furniture wrapped in a blue tarp. Where he paddled, the two adults and the older child, the two younger children slept. Traveling all night, first by car, and then for the last few hours by boat. Hungry and tired, they didn't plan to stop until they reached West Virginia, where a relative had offered to take them in. But the adults were happy to take a break from paddling, and were silence. They asked her about her river journey. They brought some food. The kids had picked the garden clean earlier in the day, so they'd been snacking on fresh bell peppers and tomatoes and some carrots, rationed carefully for the trip. Mr. Welland paddled on toward West Virginia. She gave in, shut off the motor, and floated for a while. Then she knew what she'd been craving, a moment of silence. Fook. Is this the place? I guess that's the place. Act 5, Scene 9. Act 4, Scene 9. Fuck, I'm getting really tired. Salmonitis. How much longer? Oh my fucking gosh, there's so much more in this chapter. I really shouldn't be playing this game anymore. But we're fairly close to finishing it. So, we'll just... let's see what we can do, I guess. What up, fellas? Just in time. We've already finished eating, but we're about to place a to-go order for Clara. She's back on board getting ready for her show. Take a look at the menu. I'm sure there's something you'll like. Ida is a bit of a local celebrity for cooking, I mean. Ezra was just asking about you. He's around the corner playing a video game. Maybe go let her know you two are back, or where's the old man anyway?
bad luck. You got it next time. You got a quarter. He's almost got this. It's true. Yeah, I got a quarter. Thank you. So, where's... They took him. Damn, yeah, he really got himself in a situation there. Yeah, I'm gonna go sit down. Cool. The food is good here. I think everyone else is finishing up. You can probably get something to go. Alright, Claw Maestro, let's give it another shot. So let's see what's on the top shelf pile here. There's a stuffed octopus, a plastic bag full of clamshells, a cowboy hat, and some big headphones. I want that octopus. There's a leg wrapped around the boombox underneath it. The shells are pretty clear, but I don't know if the claw can really grip the bag well. The cowboy hat is in the corner, so it's kind of tricky to tell if it's wedged in or not. Those headphones might be a good bet, but I can't see the cord. It could be wrapped around something. What are you going to try for? Octopus, clamshells, cowboy hat. I want the octopus. I admire your confidence. When I put this quarter in, you'll have about 8 seconds to grab your prize. The octopus is square in the middle. Just help lining it up. I've got a slightly different view of the field from up here. Ready? Here we go. So the front left corner of the machine. That's the front of the machine. Push it up. Does this look right? Yeah, it looks good to me. Go for it. Push the button to drop the claw. Grabs the octopus. Attached too securely to the plastic boombox beneath it, it slips from the claw's grasp. No good. I had a feeling that octopus was a little too comfortable in there. Hey, listen. It sounds like that old man you were following around. I guess he had to leave. Is he coming back? Well, probably not. He's got himself on a trajectory, you know. Anyway, I don't know what kind of plans you have now, but if you need help figuring out your next move, you can always talk to me and Miss Junebug. I just wanted to make sure you know that. Keep coming with you. I'll meet you with Julie. Back to the ground, go back to the museum. What I'm going to do... Hey, I've got no objection. We have a pretty ad hoc thing going on, me and Junebug. I have to talk to her, but I bet you're welcome to tag along for a while if you're into it. Hey, maybe we still have time to poke around this place a little. They have some pretty wild stuff in here. You see this? They keep a table full of fake food over here. I never know why. So I think it might be real food coated with shellac or something. Preserved. Oh, and look. This tentacle-looking thing is half-eaten. Is it someone's meal that they didn't finish? I dare you to take a bite. Haha, you first. No. Yeah, I don't blame you. Sam and Ida preserved this half-eaten meal. It must have been pretty important to them, right? Maybe it belonged to someone they care about, like a beloved one. Uncle had a mid-meal stroke, so they kept it in his memory. Sunflower seeds. My folks left behind. My folks left out a bag of sunflower seeds, but I threw it away. Oh, I'm sure your folks are fine, though. Are you worried about them? Yes, it's weird that they just disappeared. Yeah, listen, that's okay to be worried. You're doing fine. Weird, somehow I thought it was his truck and delivery and all. It was, that's what she's saying, but he gave it to her before they took him away. But you're going to deliver it anyway? Why? My friend needs help to finish the job. It's on my way. Somebody's waiting for those antiques. I'll just say he's friend. That's right, he's our friend too. Joining him will help you unload when we get there. Lift with your legs, Cricket. Yes, ma'am. So how was everything to Junebug? How's the sweet cave snail? Devastating. You're a killer, Ida. Well, I can't take all the credit. Sam came across a whole cave snail colony down there about a year back, and we've been leaving rock candy for them to gorge on since. We just started harvesting earlier this month. Yes, it's all about patience down here. Everything grows more slowly in the dark. There's a fish in Lake Leth that lives to 200 years, and its flavor profile only develops at about 75. Got a pot of bones in there that's been stewing for at least a week. I don't even remember why I put them on.
Come to think of it, I don't even remember what kind of bones they are. Oh, we need one for the road. Clara said she wanted, something primordial, she said. What does that mean? Can't refuse the menu. She was something simple, something old-fashioned, something from very deep in the lake. Old-fashioned. Ah, could be. Here, you pick. I'm not good at this. She'll have a salmon carrot, okay, fish with smoked. Blind prawn cakes with cranberry butter sauce. Let's do the turn the page. Spicy blind salamander and rice. Let's do with the spicy blind salamander and rice. Good choice. Your friend will love it. I'll have that right out, sweetie. Ezra leans over the table and carefully examines the preserved food and drink. He prowls at the half-eaten tentacle, gently compresses a pea-sized eyeball on a plate, runs finger along a gray fish claw. Tentacle is solid and fixed in place. We used to steam those juicy, but I prefer them smoked now. Sorry I startled you, sweetie. What food is this? Why didn't they finish their meal? Why is it hard? We've covered it in shellac. Do you know what shellac is? It's bug wax. This food is about 15 years old. It's true. Things were different then. Nobody came to eat here. We were fighting just to keep the lights on. Sam, my husband, Sam was depressed. He couldn't catch anything. That was part of the problem. Most of what we served was shipped in frozen or dried, and I just threw it in the fryer. We've both come a long way since then. Well, 2 young men came in for dinner, seasoned drivers. They said over 10,000 hours between them in Lake Leth alone. They'd been out all day salvaging parts from a riverboat wreck and had worked up a fierce hunger, they said. They ordered the whole menu without even looking. It was a short menu in those days. Set them right here and went back to the kitchen. Sam was at the next table doing a Sudoku and drinking malt liquor, his usual routine at the time. An hour later, I was cleaning up when Sam came bursting into the kitchen. Ida, he said, kind of frantic, these drivers are still hungry. Bring them another course. And I said, they already ordered the whole menu. Sam said, make something new. Keep making up dishes. Whatever. Just keep bringing out food. So I did until the small hours of the morning. I made up so many new dishes that night I could write a book. And it was good. Inspired. But I was working so hot and fast at the burning edge of inspiration. I didn't think to write any of it down. And I was so wrecked with exhaustion the next day I couldn't remember what all I had done in the kitchen. So I thought we could take a photograph of the leftovers, but we couldn't get the lighting right, so we just shellacked the whole table. Now, when I need inspiration for the menu, I come and look here and think about all those ingenious dishes I threw together for those divers. Of course, they didn't pay their full bill. I heard one of them complaining to the other, let's just pay half and let them charge the other half to whatever demon in the kitchen kept making up food faster than we could ask for it. But it all worked out. Things have really turned around since then. This place is actually pretty popular now. The success and our expanded menu inspired Sam too. He started bringing back the most magnificent ingredients from his nightly dives. I'd better get to work. Stay right here, sweetie, and I'll bring you a treat on my way back out. Yo, he got a fish now. Well, buddy, I guess you're the catch of the day, the one and only. Haha. So, what are you? You look like, well, some kind of fish, I guess. Kind of a mopey little guy, huh? Yeah, I can see it in your eyes. You smell like kind of dusty, dry. Where the hell have you been swimming? Skin feels like sandpaper, huh? Well, she'll figure something out. I think I'll call you Sandpaper Fish. Welcome to Salmonitis, the one and only sandpaper fish. I hope you enjoy your stay. I mean, not too much. Have you ever seen a creature like me before? You were pretty far down there. I wouldn't be surprised if I'm the first, except there were 2 divers who went before me long ago. Maybe that was before your time. How old are you anyway? I wonder. They ate here once, back in the bad old days. 2 young guys, could have been brothers maybe. I was over in the corner with my coffee and crossword. I hadn't been able to catch a thing, so I'd have just fired up something from Frozen. Well, these guys were hungry enough to eat it and ask for more, and they did at least as much talking as eating. Like I said, they were divers, and like I said, They might have been brothers. They had kind of a rivalry going between them or something. Ida was about to write up their check, but I slipped calmly and quietly into the kitchen for a minute and told her to just keep bringing out food. I figured they wouldn't notice, caught up in their boasting as they were, and I wanted to listen. I went back and forth for hours about all the deep and dangerous dives they'd been on, new tunnels they'd discovered, all the weird creatures they'd encountered at the weirdest depths of Lake Leth. It was like a dance, no, like a boxing match. Each story went deeper than the last, and I listened to every word of it, memorized every description of every tunnel and diving route they'd discovered. That's my map now, you see. For 15 years, I've been using routes those two young divers discussed right there at that table. Yeah, I could write a guidebook to the depths of this lake, but I don't dare. Someone would steal my good diving spots. And then where would we be? See, people come here from all over just to try our daily catch because they know it's unique. Ain't you proud? Since I can't write any of it down, I just preserved that table where they had their meal so I can look at it to jog my memory. Like they were eating pickled crab when they talked about that shipwreck full of salamanders. Pretty clever, huh? My own secret code. Well, I'll be straight with you, sandpaper fish. There is one feature of this arrangement that I find unsettling. In fact, I lose a decent amount of sleep over it. I told you those boys were competing, right? One-upping each other. I mean, each getting wilder and more adventurous as they traded tales. Well, I navigate mostly in the dark down there, just going by touch and a kind of mental picture I can construct from their detailed boasts. And every time I explore a new diving spot from those recollections, I have to weigh it all against the risk that I'm headed right into a dangerous falsehood. One of those men could have felt for a moment like he was losing some ground in their little duel. So he could have slipped a fake one in there. Maybe I told a fib about some dive he went on and found a colony of blind shrimp living in a discarded refrigerator. And when I get down there, my diving bell cracks open on a sharp rock where he said that fridge would be. And that's the end of Sam and Idas. To be honest, that possibility puts the fear of death in me every time I touch water. Fuck, dude. I am so exhausted right now. I had a busy day, but good lord, I can't keep going. There's nothing happening in this story. Yeah, I think we gotta call it, guys. That was what? Another little over an hour? We're not even through chapter 4. Alright, well, let's wait and get out of the scene, maybe? And then we'll go from there. I suppose. Good lord. Oh my gosh. Hey Sam, good haul tonight. We'll see what you can make of it. Yeah, pretty good, I think. I'll hit some trouble down by the narrow tunnel. Some kind of fast-growing freshwater barnacles just about sealed it up. Picked away for half an hour before I gave up and went around the other way. But I got the catch of the day. That's the important part. That's what people travel for. A lot of fish in this lake. It seems quiet. So here's a sandpaper fish. Mopey, sandpapery old fish. I don't know how she'll fix him. But that sandpaper quality ought to do something for, what do they call it? Mouth free? Will you stay for a drink? I've got a dark rum that goes well with coffee. Haha. I think we're about to leave, but thanks. Just passing through. Hey, aren't we all? Oh, she's got your food ready. Y'all all enjoy your meal, alright? The end of the chapter.
This world is
That's what it meant. No, let's go to the tugboat. Screw that. That just looks like a swirling mess of garbage, doesn't it? Well, that's what it is. I don't know why the trash seems black right there. Well, the spots on the lake. It's always been that way. Everyone just navigates around it like it's an island or something. Gemini Canoe and Firewood. The place was run by twin sisters, Cassie and Paula, I think. This was years ago. Used to rent out canoes to tourists, campers, pilgrims, folks like that. Must have had some kind of deal with the distillery. You'd always see a couple of hard times boys posted up on the dock, peddling small bottles to their customers. Cassie and Paula worked those old canoes to death, wrung every penny out of them. They'd only take one out of commission when it was truly demonstrably dangerous, and you couldn't get a refund unless your boat was visibly taking on water. The side business and firewood was a stroke of minor genius. Yeah, this cluttered place makes a decent local museum. As good a history as I could ever tell. We arrived at the small houseboat neighborhood that sometimes hosted concerts for the pleasure of its residents, where Clara was scheduled that night to perform. Just not love about Clara with the performance. There's a show from the doctor with the others. Act 4, Scene 10. I've got to be getting close to the end of this thing. What did that say? A neighborhood. Okay. Oh, a theremin. Nice. It's just seltzer tonight. No booze. Oh. I remember this. I told you. Yeah, you don't have to say it. Only because it's always true. Haha. She was in the flower shop. Serrano opened. He was having trouble with his tape machine, so he just drowned out on the lap steel. Got really into it, and he went for it like forever. Everyone was falling asleep. Not everyone. Remember the air was warm and perfumed. You were playing with some pebbles you found on the floor. I was looking at the ceiling. Remember the ceiling was glass during the week. That room was a greenhouse. I don't know where they put all the plants when they had bands in. Maybe outside if the weather was nice. It was nice out at night. Warm, smelled like spring. Or the folding chair, so uncomfortable, but I guess it was their only option. They had to pack everything up during the week so there'd be room to display the flowers. Tape stuff sounds good. The kid's doing a good job. Yep, he's a natural born tape player. So we were talking about him earlier at the gas station. Sure, I haven't forgotten Cricket. Cool, yeah, I know. Any, what do you think about us traveling with us for a while? In the back. Getting into it. They said it was fun to watch his eyebrows when he plays. They're expressive, but they don't match the music at all. Like he's channeling one feeling into his guitar and diverting everything else out to his eyebrows. Not sure before I noticed you'd left to wander. Of course I followed. It's not hesitant or something. It's just I met you. When we met, we were nothing. Just these little gray shadows. We grew and filled in, but we did it all together. Ezra, sure he's just a kid, but he's already a person. What would that do to our system? Chemistry. There's a horse tied up in the barn. Maybe we'll find him some food. We wandered between some more houses and came up down the street. Hey, I got the masters for the new record back from Lazar. They're okay, but what? You listened to them without me? You were at the pet shop. I didn't think I could tear you free.
Oh, okay. Anyway, there are a few spots where the strings distorted a little, and the whole thing was way too much reverb. Overall, it sounds pretty good. The new drum machine fits right into the mix. Nice. Well, the question is how to do it live. I can't control the drum machine and sing and dance at the same time, and you've got your hands full of guitar. Across the street. I remember the radio was playing Patsy Cline, right? That was Johnny Smith. Eric was reading one of those conspiracy slash celebrity gossip slash Bigfoot sighting newspapers. I think it's Catch the Horse. Horse ate the carrot slowly and glumly. They're beautiful animals. Horses, everyone seems to agree. Things always look so sad. We got back to the greenhouse just as Claire was tuning up. She relaxed her shoulders, took a deep breath, raised both hands into their precise positions, and the room started shaking. Claire hit a note that made the glass rattle in a symphony of perfect 2 octaves low. In sympathy, she looked like a sorceress tearing down the building with an effortless wave and incredible focus, coaxing the empty air into some kind of moaning, rattling demon. That's the thing about the theremin. It's the only instrument you'll never touch. You see a wave of concern propagating through the greenhouse, people looking up at the trembling glass ceiling, looking at each other to see if anyone else was worried, trying to catch Claire's eye and discern if she was doing it on purpose or not, if she was really trying to bury us all in glass. So what do you think we'll swing that, playing the drum machine live? I'll figure something out, maybe glue it to the back of your guitar. Oh yeah, or swap the buttons out for foot pedals. Or put the drums on tape beforehand like Cyrano does. Oh yeah, I guess we have a lot of options. Life is full of possibilities, Cricket. Yes, ma'am. Some tense 5 minutes. We, the audience, alternate between fearing for our lives and lamenting hers that could have given her the kind of emotional experience to play this devastating song. Then slowly, gently, Claire's hands came to rest. The theremin went quiet, the glass stopped rattling, the room relaxed, unharmed. Is that it? I hope that's it. I think that's it. That's not it. Fuck. I just want to be done. For once, I mean, one in particular, she even took my portrait. I can't imagine why. She said it would immortalize me. That was a metaphor, of course. She meant I'd never be forgotten. And she was disembarking, not from here actually. The film fell out of her bag and was borne away by the current. I was working on deck at the time. She shot me a sad, apologetic glance. I wasn't bothered. It's no shame to be forgotten. Our passengers, one later, disembarked at the mail stop by the silo. They couldn't seem to get that old truck started up again, but we managed to roll it off the barge with only a minor scrape or two. At the last minute, Claire decided to travel with them. Wow. Kate and I said her. Think about our friends, new and old, and the mucky mammoth rumbled down the echo. Alright, 4 scene 12. Wait, what's the scene 11? Is that the silo of late reflections? What's this place like? Delaware Drive? It's in a small town, or I really don't know, haha. I've got the manifest the old man had in this truck here. It sets antiques, mail order delivery, no return address, shipping address, 5 Dogwood Drive, packing list. And that's just numbers. I guess inventory numbers of the antiques he was supposed to be delivering. Anyway, I'm glad you're coming with us. Yes, I'm always eager to see more of the country, and I enjoy the company. I will have to find a bus or a train to get on to Nashville by evening. Well, they have buses everywhere, right? Or hey, I could drive you to Nashville. Seems I have a truck now. Only, how are we going to get it up these stairs? That's quite a staircase. Is there another route? Stairs is there. Tunnel or something? No way out but up. Guess we could wait for the mammoth to come back around and take us a little further down. That won't be until late afternoon. Looks like we're making the rest of this trip on foot. So just leave the truck here. I don't even know what's in there. What if it's switching kit? Sure, I don't think anyone but us could get it started again. My cricket, let's get this delivery packed and tied into bundles. We're hiking it upstairs. What's in there? Antiques, I guess. Antiques. Yeah, antiques are... It's like junk, but people will pay for it. Oh. Clara, sorry. I guess you'll be taking the bus after all. It's okay. It will be an adventure. Shannon sighs and stretches. Tired? Don't worry, lady. We're almost there. There's like a horse down in the bottom. No, I guess it's just all shadows. A doggy shadow. Yeah, I don't think that truck's gonna go up that step ladder thing there. Probably not. Morning bird songs. Hey, morning birds. Come on, say the end. What is that? Hello? Hey, there it is. End of Act 4. Good. Fuck. Alright. I am going to call it for tonight. We can do Un Pueblo de Nada later, some other time. I need to go to bed. It's late. I'll catch you guys another time for episode 7, where we get through probably half of chapter 5 and then go to bed. Alright. I'll see y'all later.